their growth through this World Cup season. So, I mean, really, Chile got the heart of the tiger right now, and I think that they're going to be very well stead moving into the real meaty portion of match day 3, and then into next weekend. This sets them up so well.
Falei, porque seu nick tá vermelho.
That's the big thing for Team Chile right now. Is now that the seed of belief is put into their head, this should be very good. But I mean, make sure you guys take care of everybody out there. Keep the love, keep the positivity, and take care of each other, because we're all in this game together. We'll see you later, but I think we're going to throw it to a quick little break. So we're going to see you on the other side with Moxie and Dustin.
Tá torcendo pra qual time? Eu tô torcendo pra Bélgica, amiga. Porque agora eu sou vingativa. Mentira, eu não sei porque eu tô vermelho. Oi, Marezinha. Você viu a abertura lá de Sailor Moon? Não vi. Oi, Andriel. E se eu tentar uma coisa, o que, mulher? Aqui que é a organizada para o Jogo do Brasil. É, aqui tem vários lugares, mas aqui também. Ai, aqui. Que preguiça. A torcida para o Jogo do Brasil. O time do Brasil é de alguma org conhecida. Aqui no Campeonato Mundial, ele é tipo como se fosse a seleção brasileira mesmo, entendeu? É como se representasse realmente, assim, o time do Brasil mesmo, entendeu? Não é de uma organização. Espero que eles amassem, igual foi ontem. Meu gato querendo roubar uma pizza. Ai, eu queria comprar uma pizza hoje. Tava vendo se eu comprava ou não. I don't know. A Rafa tá fazendo? Como funciona, como que funciona a seleção dos jogadores? Tem uma organização pra fazer isso? Tem uma comissão técnica, né? Eles selecionam a comissão técnica. Seria muito top que acontecesse nos outros jogos também. Nossa, eu acho muito difícil. Muito difícil. Eles fazem Uni do Unité, sim. Mas ver o cara jogando... Ver o cara jogando de Tracer ontem me deu vontade de jogar de Tracer. Gente, deixa eu fazer uma pergunta pra vocês. Alguém sabe quando chega a Aeromancer no Lost Shark? Eu vi que teve um bagulho da Steam hoje. Eu acho que é em agosto, mas eu não entendi direito. Eu acho que eu sou burra. Porque lá não tem, tipo, falando exatamente se vai ser em agosto. Alguém sabe? Eu queria testar. É a classe que eu mais tava esperando. Somebody knows. Vê meu ícone no Discord, o galinho tá achando que sou eu. Qual é teu ícone, mulher? E quem é? Eu não sei nem quem é, mulher. Eu não sei nem qual é a tua aparência pra dizer isso. Nicolas não sabe, ele não tá aí. Eu vi que vai sair em agosto, mas não sei o dia exato. Mano, eu faço uma aposta que esse jogo vai sair no início de agosto, junto com a season do Overwatch. Eu já tô prevendo já, mano. Porque é tudo pra me fuder, né, mano? Tudo está aí para foder o meu cu. Aí é foda, eu não duvido que vai sair no início de agosto. Porque dia 10 é a season nova do Overwatch, né? E a season nova do Overwatch tem 1 bilhão de coisas. Eu nem sei quais são os jogos que tem em julho, deixa eu ver. Bam, bam, dam, dam, dam. Uma atualização nova do No Man's Sky. Ah, o jogo lá só que é só Switch. Bam, bam. A gente viu esse jogo aqui, o trailer desse jogo aqui. Ai, vai ter o Punch Club. O que é isso aqui? Ó, vai ter teste do Tekken, tem Pinkmin. Ah, tem o Remnant 2! É agora em julho! Ai, esse jogo é muito bom, velho. Ah, o Telltale do The Expansion. É, a gente viu esse jogo. Esse jogo é bonitinho. Ele é fofo. Meu Deus, a ratazana da Lux. Meu Deus, o Genshin 6. Putz. Ah, é um simulador de escola. Legal. A gente viu esse aqui também. O jogo da Disney. Ai, meu Deus. O bagulho do Path of Exile. Não era no início de julho que chegava a season do Diablo? É, eu não acho que tem muito... Vou passar uma D, gente. Não acho que tem muito jogo pra jogar em julho, não, como eu suspeitei. Dá pra gente terminar o Zelda, jogar bastante Overwatch, aproveitar a season. É. Oi, Nicolas. Ô, Nicolas, quando que lança a Aeromancer no Lost Ark? Muito obrigada, Zail Shai, pelo Prime. Seja muito bem-vindo. Muito obrigada pelo seu apoio. Não, você tá me respondendo? Você não sabe? A season do Diablo só tinham falado que era em julho. Agora se não começou no final, não sei. Entendi. Dia 16/23 de agosto. É no final, tá? Entendi. Obrigada. Vai começar. Adoro que nessas estátuas não tem nenhum tanque, né? Um tanque aqui, ó, chamado Reaper.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Overwatch World Cup online qualifiers here for Americas. We said goodbye to Gompers and Chef Billy, but we're also going to say hello to Got, Moxie, and Dustin. Dustin, how are you doing today?
Não achei a data exata, mas diz que a Romance vai ser lançado com um Power Pass, um evento em agosto. É, tem isso na Steam. Mas não tem a data.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be something interesting. And the next match that we do look forward to, you guys, is going to be Argentina versus Brazil. And yesterday, it was really great games coming out from Brazil in that match that they did have up against Chile, Moxie.
Yeah, I mean, Brazil looking honestly like one of the strongest teams in their group
Saindo
right
sabe
now,
falido
and
do
no
Brasil.
surprises when you see on paper they have so
Você tá no
much
seu?
synergy already built up. They've been playing together for a very long time. They've got that experience as well coming in from the background of the contenders SA region.
A Sujon.
And they just have such good dive coordination as well as the mechanical prowess to be able to back it off. And when I talk about that, I'm talking about players like
Você reagindo às coisas do Genshin, então no canal de VOD, depende do que seja reagindo às coisas do Genshin, amigo. O que você tá falando? Tem evento dia 12, aí tem um evento de julho que dura um mês, vai até o dia 12 de agosto, então só dia 13. Entendi. Olha, falando Brasil. É, não dá mesmo. O que tu tá fazendo, mulher?
It wasn't that much of a fight. They just seemed a little disconnected in comparison.
Yeah, I sadly, you know, Brazil.
Aquilo do viajante poder nadar e as coisas, não sei se era vazamento. Se for vazamento, eu vejo só aqui na live, não vai pro canal do YouTube. Se for a live que teve na sexta-feira, vai ser upado hoje. Mas tem o tudo no VOD daqui da Twitch. Eles liberaram pra todo mundo transmitir o Mundial. Foi muito da hora eles terem feito isso. Eu tava pensando se tinha alguma espécie de... Mulher, desiste disso. Desiste disso, mulher.
Well, I mean, first of all, they probably didn't have a day off. I guarantee you.
Well,
they know
true.
they're coming up against Brazil. They are watching that match. They are going to be looking at those VODs. They're going to be looking at those compositions and trying to analyze how exactly this team plays, who they're relying on to be able to make those open.
Eu tô incrédula como o bot não pode ter um count-up.
So that they're able to keep an eye out for specific players. And I think a big part of it
Desiste,
is
mulher.
going to come down to keeping one
Não
player
precisa
who
desse
we haven't
comando.
really touched on yet. Under wraps, and that's Ludwig, because every single time he was taking a Tracer 1v1, he would not only be able to see the Tracer off his backline, but he'd be able to keep the objective.
Ela quer pra ter um comando igual a live do Alan Nicholas. De que, tipo assim, as pessoas que perguntam, nossa, há quanto tempo ela tá jogando Final Fantasy? Aí vai ter esse comando falando, a Riyuuka está há 30 minutos jogando Final Fantasy, entendeu? Falou, Chay, até mais. E não tem isso no Stream Elements. A gente tava olhando no Mobit, só que o Mobit, pra usar o comando que tem lá, é $5. E teria que mudar pro Nightbot, porque o Nightbot dá pra fazer isso no código manual.
surprised to see if Argentina has anything like that planned versus a team like Brazil, where that would work.
Ela tá desde ontem
Well, we're not gonna have to wait
procurando
too much
milhão
longer
de
to see what
coisas
these
disso
two
daí.
squads have to bring to the table. We're gonna head over towards Nepal here for the first matchup in this best of 3 series between Argentina and Brazil. Got Moxie and Justin, take it away.
Thank you, Ash. And obviously, Moxie, we're back here today with day number 2. Brazil, obviously, day number 1.
Eu passei a tarde toda procurando mulher.
Moxie, I mean, what
Não
do you think we should
precisa.
expect here for this matchup with Brazil and Argentina, considering the fact that we haven't really seen them, but I know maybe you've
Eles
seen a
escolhem.
little bit of a sneak peek behind those closed doors on Argentina, huh?
So I think, again, it's going to come down to, like you said, the fact that Brazil are incredibly strong on their dives, and especially if we're starting off in somewhere like Nepal, if you get dealt that opening card of Village, a lot of the time may becomes really strong. It does get hampered somewhat by the fact that dive heroes are just...
Bora, galera, bora torcer. Cadê as bandeirinhas do Brasil aí?
Avoid the Maywall if it does come through, but being able to control that point, take that fight into that enclosed spaces, really limits the dive's mobility as well. If everyone can just bunker up on that point itself, then a lot of the entrances that are traditionally there for the dive, like the Winston jumping in or the Tracer being able to backflank, are removed entirely. But it looks like Argentina are going to be going for something entirely different. We're
Eita, vamos aumentar.
Queen come through. Is they're anticipating something like this far to come out from Brazil's side.
Nossa, a Argentina tá com a Junker Queen.
But when we talk to these players with the Mercies, they actually do admit that they want to go up against the Pharah rather than the Echo because just how good that Echo beam is at focusing down you and GA.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree with that swamp through, but it seems like both teams kind of planning for each other in this fight. Obviously running a Doom Fist on the side. Oh my god, Walter goes incredibly deep
boa,
into the weapon, but
caralho!
Walter gets those shots direct midair.
Mata ela, mata ela!
Fantastic shots from him and also
Boa,
looking for
porra,
Mercy.
caralho, mano.
Easy
Esse menino é muito
collapse, although
bom.
Argentina claimed that point first. Brazil are up 2 already in this fight. They do find Exfel on the back.
Olha isso! Ele tá limpando o time dos caras, velho.
As Ludwig racks up the 4K.
Yeah, Argentina trying to run Gasp on this Junker Queen is actually really not working out because Brazil have foreseen this and they've actually run Expel on the Ana, so they're having the anti-nade. The idea of a Junker Queen when
Ele
you're
tá
running
limpando
something
todo mundo,
like
mano.
Pharah is that you get to play sustainability when it's a 3 versus 5 as opposed to having a full team there, but the anti-nade entirely decimates that win condition, so we see the swap come through onto the Orisa.
Ludwig still spamming through the main.
Ele trocou pra Orisa. Mano, se ele ultasse atrás dos caras ia ser muito louco. Não, ele foi stunado. Calma, calma, calma que vai. Ele reviveu. Tá tudo bem. Ele só tem 2 aliados, o Argentina. Boa! A mira do cara segue, tá de hack. Tá em 1080 a live, tua cara ficou um quadrado rosa, normal. Estamos com 33%.
Senko waiting behind the cover that was added in Overwatch 2.
Caralho, ele lutou todo mundo! Ah, curou. Caralho, que ult boa, velho!
Very clean fight from Brazil.
It's fast.
Caralho!
Just ripping the band-aid off. At least they've been able to burn out the EMP, and Brazil not really being able to keep that fight staggered out for as long as they would want, unable to build up ultimates to be
Ele vai atrás da main?
If there's one fight that this team has to be able to turn this map around,
acho que ele vai dar só uma incomodada ali, né? Ele tem ult. Caralho, velho. Já levou 2, Sobrou os 2 suportes e o tanque. Só tem o tanque, Spunk, esmaga, caralho, esmaga. Bota os manitos pra mamar.
That was their entire plan 3 times in a row, and 3 times in a row Brazil have read it like an absolute bestseller. And Argentina now have to give up Terror Surge just to swap onto the Hammer to have any chance of
Muito
touching the
bons.
point.
I don't even know if they do. 97, 98, Nano Boost out.
Ele vai morrer.
99, and
Boa! Pegamos o primeiro.
Caralho! Winning round number 1.
Oh, it's so unfortunate for Argentina that every single win condition on that composition
É
is literally
sobre.
centered around controlling the point. That's why we saw the coalescence being invested mid-rotation, so they didn't lose anybody until they were on the point, until they were ready to use the Terror Surge. And Brazil, like you said, they have so many means of being able to counteract it entirely, either with just the Sombra hack or the Doomfist punch coming through and absolutely nullifying any impacts, and then without that more sustainability, the Orisa, she's not a cow, she's a sitting duck.
Yeah, this is rough now for Argentina, but obviously they
Sim,
still have a
fica mais
chance.
transparente,
On
né?
Nepal, Brazil looking strong. I mean, really leading up.
Eu tô tentando ajeitar ali o negócio do chat.
What we're going to see from Brazil, maybe a bit of flexibility being shown today with these Pharah Doomfist compositions.
Mais
So far,
transparente.
so good for them. Yeah.
It's the same comp coming through from Argentina. Shaki going to be there on the Kiriko to try and cleanse those anti-nades that hit onto gas when the Jungle Queen tries to play sustain on that point, as it is just going to be a dogfight to try and decide who's going to have control of the burst.
This is the Pharah first, but on the low ground, Gasp is the one to take out We on the low ground. Nice work from the Jungle Queen to take care of that space, remove the Doomfist. The res though did come through from Naya on the low ground around the pillar. Ludwig still spamming out that Echo, who is hacked down below, but luckily can escape with his life for now. Argentina still on that point, almost capping it, but Brazil, I sent a Doomfist player there to touch it for just a bit, but Argentina eventually will force
A Argentina pegou o ponto primeiro, estão com 6%. Boa, levou um suporte, levou a Ana. O cara acertar isso é muito difícil, velho. Ih, morreu 3 já, morreu 4. Não, gente, não. Calma, calma, joga na calma, joga na calma. A galera vai nascer de novo. Aparece, Alien.
This is where they want to be. They have to be mindful, however, of the EMP charge. Benko is racing up towards that first ultimate, and they don't have anything to counter it with that sustainability. No sound barrier, no Zenyatta, and a hacked out Kiriko.
Walter coming to the top, looking for that Ana yet again. Axel's gotta play his life. Really has to deal with this.
Mata ela, mata ela.
Now, the rest of Brazil actually collapsed. They want a counter dive. It's a bit late though, so Walter is
Tô com 50% já, mano.
There, Ana for now, and as well as that Valkyrie's used early from a Kuno. So Walter's still at the top trying to spam out X-Spell. Argentina still have that point up to 60%.
Ó, boa ult, tô em todo mundo. Levou 1, levou 2. Meu Deus, mano. A mina tá muito low. Boa, mataram todo mundo. Pegamos, porra. Pegamos o ponto, pegamos o ponto. Eles estavam com 70%. Olha ele indo buscar ela, que fofinho. É, mas eles também têm, né, ult. Vai, usa a vagina. Matou o tanque, matou o suporte. Empurra eles, empurra eles pra casa. Leva eles pra casa.
I mean, you lose your tank that early, you do just have to back out. Thankfully for Argentina, they're far enough away from the fight. Without a loser, that disengagement could have been really messy given that Sombra Echo.
Ele matou! Ele matou a Kiriko!
There it is! The poke, that spam coming through from Ludwig, helped out by that Mercy's damage boost, just means that Rez is already off the board.
Meu, a Tracer deles tentando matar a Mercy. Ai, o Ludwig morreu. Revive ele, Neo! Calma. Reviveu, mas o Neo morreu. Ai, gente. Não, ele vai morrer. Ele morreu.
As well as Argentina are climbing up to get that victory on this round.
Ai, 90% eles vão pegar. Vamos, gente, vamos. Calma, 97, 97. É só entrar no ponto. Entrou no ponto. Meu Deus, pararam. Ele cancelou a ult, ele foi hackeado.
but he still kept alive, didn't lose his life.
Meu Deus, eu vou passar mal. Tá em 99.
Chalky, the key on the backside, who was on the Doomfist. Chalky immediately resurrected his Gotham trade.
Ai, meu Deus, o União morreu.
From him to keep Argentina in this, but a nice nade.
Vamos, gente, vamos. Ai, não, o Ludwig morreu.
Find that backline, but Ludwig did trade back Chalky. Now comes that Doomfist down below. Gaspy goes incredibly low.
Calma, mataram o tanque.
Svenko will eventually find him as Oracle has found Exo. Svenko as well on the backside found Walter and Gui.
Calma, ele tá segurando, ele tá segurando. Matou? A gente vai pegar o ponto. Pegamos, foda-se.
Potentially final fight for Argentina. It's not final fight for Brazil. They still have fights afterwards. Argentina now have to win the poke phase. They are so close.
Ai, mano, que nervoso.
Brazil need an early.
Mano, aquele hack foi muito bom. O Svenko hackeou pra caralho.
They've sacrificed the echo. They have no traditional hit scan to keep Walter in position.
Chalky, onus is on him to play his life as well here, coming around this left side health pack. Svenko waiting for that patiently. There's the hack on the Chalky, and the Doomfist dive is there.
Boa!
Perfectly coordinated. Walter has to go for the hack.
Calma, matou um. A mina reviveu ela.
The res is there in that fight to bring Chalky, but Chalky's hacked yet again. Needs double pocket to live, but Gaspa on the
Calma, ele voltou.
Down on the low ground. There's no res on that side either, so Brazil have to desperately bring things back.
Ai, meu Deus, o União morreu.
Lands on the Chalky successfully. That's a great start.
Ai, mataram o tanque.
Connects onto the Doomfist. This Walter is Walter.
Calma, calma, gente, calma. Vai dar tudo certo, vai dar tudo certo.
Has to come back now into this fight after translocating to the high ground. Ludwig has no cooldown. Svenko is there with
falta dois só, leva dois.
They're able to sustain versus Argentina, who now just have the Tracer in the Lucio to touch. But Chalky, who's typically playing the
nosso.
onto that Lucio
GG.
now, so he doesn't have
Ganhamos.
a lot of survivability himself. And Brazil,
bota os manitos pra mamar.
2-0.
How many times
bota os manitos pra mamar.
Coming in with those absolutely clutch Hanzo logs on Gibraltar, and it's Svenko again coming in with those clutch kills, going for that backline, making sure that that Mercy is wiped off the face of the earth. So no resurrections, no damage boosts available.
É o time brasileiro, óbvio.
To be able to burst all of your supports and front line.
Humilhados.
My goodness, Dustin, we came so close. We came so close to seeing sanctions. These two teams, like I said, Argentina, they have not been slouching. They have not had a day off. They have been watching Brazil very, very carefully.
Esse tio que dá os socos a Tracer são muito bons? Como assim? Meu Deus, o esmaga.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Argentina has, you know, previously in the few World Cups.
Deixa eu ver como é que tá o chat.
Fielded rosters that are actually solid, like not bad rosters.
Perder pra Argentina jamais. Brasil melhor da América Latina.
You mentioned it, Moxie. I mean, he was so good so far on Junker Queen. To be able to give that opening, opening pick.
Meu Deus, velho, o surto. Tem quantas pessoas assistindo? 12 mil.
Could potentially lead to one of our closest series yet.
Mano, o Ludwig é muito bom, véi. Que bizarro. Loucura.
Not so much that second round, but definitely this first one here with this Orisa composition. It's so obvious where you're going. It's so obvious that you're literally just trying to play like an ostrich. Head in the sand, ignore the pharmacy, ignore the Doomfist, get to point, bunker up. That's your win condition.
Essa ult foi muito boa, velho. Sério, essa ult do Svenko foi puta que pariu. Foi muito boa. Essa ult foi muito boa.
And if I'm not mistaken, this is the first game we're seeing Guy, right? In the lineup, the Doomfist player for Brazil, Moxie, from what we saw yesterday. And you know, maybe do you think this is Brazil trying some things out as well, making sure their overall roster is, you know, ready to go in the future versus some potential teams that'll play, you know, with the Echo and the Pharah. Maybe
ai, mano, o chat do menino não fica aqui do lado. Eu queria que ficasse. Será que dá pra colocar o chat do Streamlabs, botar os emotes? Deixa eu ver.
Chances are that it's going to force the other team to have to swap either to an Echo Pharah to deal with it in the sky, or you look towards the ground, you go for something like the Casting or the Ash, and that's where the Doomfist comes in.
O Svenko é gay pra jogar de sombra assim, só sendo. Do nada. Cadê o chat?
But its big weakness is that it's incredibly easy to bait. You throw in one extra hero who can dive alongside the Echo, something like a Tracer or a Doomfist, and you have an absolute recipe for a dead Cassidy.
Yeah, I think that so far Brazil, we'll see how they go into this next round.
Tem.
Obviously, I think that Argentina didn't look that bad. At the end of the day, they looked solid leading into that.
Usa aí.
Maybe leading to their next match, we could see some potential swaps. Although I will say,
Não apareceu.
Control, it's a bit easier to run that echo.
Por que não?
You have to imagine we're probably going to see a different comp on Escort, right?
Deixa eu tentar pegar o link de
We're
novo.
probably also going to see a role swap because Gatsby does traditionally play the Orisa for this team, and that was why we actually saw him coming in on that tank role there.
Yeah.
Iniciei o chat, eu vou pegar o link de novo. Eu tava no outro PC.
So more than likely we're going to be
O
seeing
MVP da sombra, claro.
come through in terms of those roles. However, we cannot take away from the hero of the hour, Svenko stats. Every single time we see this guy, whether he's on the Hanzo, whether he's on the Sombra, he really is one of these players in the region that you have to watch out for because he
eu
is an
peguei o link
absolute
de novo.
monster when he's playing at his peak, and he has something that every single high-level player is going to absolutely treasure.
Não sei se vai
above all
aparecer
else.
porque é
Every single
chat
time we've
custom,
seen
né?
him, he's popped off. He's never had that coin flip. He's never had a little bit of moment where he's stuttered or staggered. He's always playing at his A game, and that makes him invaluable to this team.
Não aparece não.
Svenko, really valuable member of Brazil's side, and for their.
Deixa eu ver se eu não tenho que linkar.
Here, Moxie,
Ah, se eu não tenho que linkar o Stream Elements com Better
here with that.
Civil,
When I talked about Brazil, right? In this group in particular, I think they're looking strong. But obviously, if we compare them, if you were to take Brazil, for example, maybe take them against USA or Canada, do you think that this roster could deal with a lot of those flexibility that could come out of those rosters? Because it seems like at points Brazil.
Eu não sei se tem que
They
linkar.
kind of can falter in some of these situations versus some of these like echo
Mas não aparece,
compositions
não.
or even the Junker Queen, like you said, putting
O emote
Argentina's
global do
DPS
7
player
TV
back
vai,
on the
né?
Junker Queen for that
Mas
map.
os de
Even
cada
that
chat
kind of
não.
worked and had some success versus Brazil. So, I mean, am I being a bit of a negative Nancy here, Moxie, or should I be a little bit worried as a Brazilian fan?
I think Brazil, honestly,
Não sei se tem como
have
linkar,
a
não.
pretty good standing at the moment. Maybe not to be able to take on USA when we were seeing them just play to the absolute peak, but definitely to go toe-to-toe with Canada at the moment, just because we've seen...
Acho que não tem não, acho que é só os globais mesmo.
The one thing that might actually suffer for this team is that, like you said, we are seeing different players come in to play these different compositions.
O nome da sombra é realmente Sombra, eu achei que era só tradução. Não, ela é mexicana, o nome dela é Sombra. O nome dela é Sombra. É o da Mercy Misericórdia. É a Maria Misericórdia. A Shadow.
Yeah, and I mean, raised great points there. I think for Brazil's side, obviously next map's going to be King's Row, or this upcoming map is going to be
É o
King's
Reaper,
Row,
o
but,
estripador.
yeah, that'd be a very interesting matchup, maybe seeing them versus Canada or, some of these other teams. I think at the moment, Brazil is looking solid, right? With a lot of their players, right? With Svenko onto the DPS, you got Ludwig as well, Dauka.
O Svenko tá de...
in the game.
Hanzo.
And Moxie, look, Argentina is sticking with Gaspa in the lineup.
Sticking with Gatsby and not actually having him play that DPS, so it really goes to show quite how some of these teams are taking that Widowmaker changes, affecting her potential on King's Row, which used to be one of the staple Widowmaker maps.
MD3
play Widowmaker from that spawn.
Se o Brasil ganhar esse mapa aqui, ganhou.
And then it's an absolute shooting gallery for that Widow left behind. It's always some fun plays that Overwatch League players have gotten away with her.
Not going for it though, no Life Weaver for
A
that
própria
swap
Virgem
and,
Maria.
Oracle. Beyond the Hanzo, which has obviously been a mainstay on King's Row. Using the Sonic on the top side. Dauka, by the way, is
Estamos
going to be on that
defendendo.
Diva, playing around the statue side. We'll see if Argentina's unique play style with this composition will work. They already used Immortality Code early as they make that rotation.
Ah, tá. Achei que tinha matado alguém, só tirou o negócio e ia falar como? Eu ia falar, quê? Que mentira mentirosa! Ih, o Spot morreu.
Okay, with the Sonic, he picks up Expel, and that's Brazil holding their ground, waiting to see whether or not Svenko can trade it, but Argentina definitely getting to really move forward towards this high ground that they want.
Out up a man, they move towards the top of the clock tower. Waiting up top, still Oracle looking for those shots, uses the double jump cooldown as well. Sonic on the top.
Eles vão vir por trás.
Actually drop into the back line of the Archway. You rarely see teams make
Boa.
that rotation. And now over the top,
Empurrar eles logo.
rotates. Nobody dead on Brazil's side. Nice rotation from them to not
Eles estão quase pegando, pegaram a primeira parte.
Argentina now rotated all the way to the point. Svenko still not able to find that kill.
Ai, ele vai morrer.
To build up the Dragon Strike, but it's Oracle.
Eles vão pegar.
To find the Tracer, Ludwig is removed. The immortality
Uta.
as well.
Tá, pegaram o ponto.
But then coming Dragon Strike from Svenko, avoiding the point though is that team. There's nobody there to touch Argentina fully cap it out.
Ah, eles só rusharam.
They're not going to have Dragon. They're not going to have Dalka's mech either. They are going to lose full position of choke early, and this is exactly what Brazil does not want to happen, because
a gente não quer que aconteça mesmo, não.
The wheels on this train are starting to really pick up momentum. This Orisa composition alongside that Mei,
meu Deus,
zoning these players, forcing them to have
tem a skin do campeonato, que é essa daí, branca com laranja.
Putting them into so much vulnerability against Oracle is allowing him to have such an advantage in the hands of 1v1.
Brazil now sending Ludwig on that flank. 5 minutes they had as soon as they capture out that first point. Svenko finally gets that opening pick on the amplification matrixing Baptiste as well. That's a nice shot to find for them to get rid of that ultimate value.
Autou na tanque, pelo menos. Pelo menos pegou em alguém, né? Ó, matou 2, matou 3. Vai matar o tanque. Tá. Metade do caminho pro primeiro stop.
Really good, like you said, using that pulse bomb, understanding that Dragon Strike was not built up for Svenko, which is the traditional counter to that Baptiste ultimate. They send Ludwig, who has that mobility, that safety with those blinks to be able to bypass
tô ficando nervosa.
push Argentina back, and suddenly, out of the window when it's increased damage,
Tô nervosa.
Brazil can get a lot more
a Argentina tem 4 ults, a gente tem 3, né?
Come through for Argentina. They're just having to take a little bit of flank right to make sure they don't lose anyone in rotate.
Drop it on top of the pub, double jump away, and the
down below. O tanque morreu.
Dalka on the low ground, but he used the Diva Bomb, however, was chased down still by Argentina. Up a man, they now have to fight against the Nano Boost and a nice grenade from Xfel. Svenko also comes from the bottom of the pub to final Kuno, and Oracle dying.
Mata ela! Mata ela! Come ela!
Into this fight without Dalka. Gaspa tries to equalize it on
Boa, caralho!
And Svenko combined for 2 more to keep holding against Argentina.
Caralho, velho. Obrigada, Maxiel, pelos 5 meses de sub. Será muito bem-vindo de volta. Obrigada pelo seu apoio. Calma, ainda tá na metade. Tá na metade do caminho, 2 minutos e 40.
He has that cloak with his primary, also the zone to be able to slow these players down and make it so easy for Brazil to overwhelm a composition that without a Lucio doesn't have clean disengagement.
There's also double immortality here with the Suzu and the immortality field from Akuno. So Ludwig's really has a lot of struggle that he's going to have to do. Maybe he can get out both cooldowns, but an anti-grenade, and Svenko hits the shot onto Akuno, so no immortality field there.
Não, ele não matou!
Forces out that Suzu, but the Brazil's already up 2 in this fight, so Argentina need to find a kill to try to equalize it, but they only get Neon on the low ground. Meanwhile,
tá, o Neon morreu, mas ele volta, tá tudo bem. 3 deles morreram.
And again, punishing that hesitation. Argentina taking these lengthy rotations. Orisa,
eles dois são muito bons, véi.
Even though she has the most feet for them, without that Lucio, Brazil on the defense, as long as they don't lose a player early on, and Argentina with these rotations are putting themselves in positions to be able to threaten one shot to push Brazil.
Eu só queria que eles mostrassem um pouquinho a tela do tanque dos suportes, né?
She now come all the way around to trying to avoid some of that pressure like you mentioned, but Svenko, well aware of that, sits at the back. Ludwig tries to go for some pressure, but doesn't want to get one
tá, eles empurraram pouquinho.
On the gas, but keeps him incredibly low on that front line. Nice nade from Xfel so far. In the streets, phase of King's Row, but a
achei que ele ia morrer.
Into Svenko as he tries to go for the peak. We'll back him off for just a moment, but still throwing in those storm arrow shots.
Não, eles só mostram os 4 DPS. Separaram eles.
But it's already sort of disengaged from Argentina, so Brazil trying to push to the left side of the pub to find that back line, but they use the immortality.
Dá pra fazer um setup louco, hein? O tá aí. Meu Deus, ele usou o carro pra subir, mano. Ele vai morrer. Morreu. Tá, mas morreu o nosso tanque, morreram 3 deles. Calma. Joga com calma. É isso. É isso.
They have 1 ace up the sleeve, Dustin, like you said.
Falta
It's a
30
clean
segundos.
fight from Argentina side. No ultimates invested. Everything going to be available in this next
O
fight.
direito
But
tava
again,
jogando?
it's
Não,
so
mulher, eu
predictable
tô
that they're
assistindo
going to
o
have to
Mundial.
take these long rotations. Brazil using
A gente vai
that
assistir
atomic
todos os jogos do
fire to
Brasil.
figure out exactly
Muito
where they're going
obrigada,
to come from
Aqui
so they can
Norim,
look
pelo
to
seu
try and
Prime.
use
Seja
it.
muito bem-vindo.
Because
Muito
we're
obrigada
so
pelo seu
down in
apoio.
time banks
Vou
that if
tentar, né,
they
ver
lose
todos os
one
jogos do
player,
Brasil com
Argentina
vocês na
can't
live.
afford to regroup.
Pode ser que tenha
They
algum
have
que
to go
na,
ahead
pra
no matter
fazer na
what.
minha folga, né?
You know what stops five
Mas vou tentar
ultimates
sempre
is
ver
one
todos.
Hanzo shot from across the map, so Svenko gonna be looking for that shot to stop Argentina's push. Dragon strike early, knowing they have
Isso,
five
sai do
ultimates.
dragão.
Backs up. Actually, it's on
Fica de
Dalka
boa.
into the main side, so I thought he went down to the bottom of the train, but no shots. Just
Ai, eles
able to
estão
be
rushando,
found
eles estão
by
puxando, eles
Svenko.
estão
Meanwhile,
puxando.
Blizzard committed from Walter into the ant matrix as well, and the Kitsune rush. So they're overlaying everything against Brazil, who have used double support ultimates as well on that front line, but Casper drops.
Ai, o Ludwig morreu. Calma, mas o bagulho deles também morreu. Vai, ajuda, ajuda. Não. Não.
Towards that cart after all the ultimates have been used, so it's just
Ele
on Gaspar
morreu.
to try to find a lot of these kills and a Kuno, but Svenko is already
Ai, eu vou
down
passar
shot
mal.
on the
O Svenko
back line.
morreu.
And the rest of his team is doing it. They're stopping Brazil here. Last second, Yan has found the back line of
Calma.
Argentina, and it's just
Ganhamos.
Gaspar, so nobody else is
Agora
here.
vamos atacar.
And Argentina
Vamos
gets
atacar.
stopped in the streets phase as they
Próximo
were
jogo é
so
quando?
close
Eu
to
acho que tem
doing
que jogar amanhã também. Tem que jogar amanhã, gente?
This is the gamble that
Ai,
you
eu tô
take when you
nervosa.
limit yourself to one overtime fight
Tô
with all of your
nervosa.
ultimates available. The second that Ant Matrix gets invested, you want to guarantee, you want to secure that investment, right? So
tô
Immortality
nervosa.
Field gets put in early to make sure that everyone in Argentina
Ai, minha
can
câmera
stand
tá
their ground
mais pra
and
cá.
take advantage of the window and shoot into all of those players stuck in the blizzard. But the problem is that even though Brazil
Esmaga tá
didn't have
funcionando aqui,
aggressive
tá.
ultimates, no, that tank ultimate, they had both support ultimates, Nana Boost and Kitsune Rush, and Argentina.
Tem jogo amanhã contra o Equador. Aí, ó. Eu acho que deve ter jogo na segunda. Eu espero que não, porque segunda-feira eu não streamo. Tá, a gente vai de 3, Serranzo, Diva, Ana e Kiriko. Esmaga pelo 7 TV. É, todos os emotes estão sendo pelo 7 TV. Garrafa tá adicionando. Aqui tá funcionando, Rafa. Amanhã é às 6 horas, mas é 6 horas daqui. Pra quem falava que não gostava de ver campeonato por causa da ansiedade, mas os do Overwatch eu sempre assisti. Eu não assisti os do LoL e os da PEN, né? Porque eu era da PEN. Os do Overwatch eu sempre vi. Sempre que tinha os campeonatos com 300 mil pessoas assistindo, eu era as 300 mil, entendeu? Uma delas, eu sempre assisti. Os do Valorant eu também assisto, acho da hora assistir. Mas eu não assisti os do LoL por causa da PEN mesmo. E toda vida que eu assistia, perdia. E eu tinha muita ansiedade, mas os do LoL eu não assistia não. E competitivo de LoL é muito chato. Olha o tanto de coisa que acontece aqui, velho. A diferença é que no Overwatch é 40 minutos tudo, no LoL é 40 minutos uma partida. É, por isso que eu sempre gostei do competitivo de Overwatch. É isso. A gente não precisa ficar maroteando pelo lado. A gente empurra, dá um chutão pela porta da frente, entendeu? Olha isso, eles não precisam nem marotear, eles saem... Mano, é literalmente tiro, porrada e bomba na frente da tua casa. É, eu gosto de assistir os campeonatos de luta também. Eu me apaixonei pela Evo. Me apaixonei pela Evo. Sempre que tem algum campeonato de jogo de luta que eu minimamente entendo o jogo, eu assisto também. Eu queria muito conseguir streamar a Evo junto com vocês. É bem, tipo, alguns jogos, tá ligado? Sei lá. É quando tiver a Evo e tiver coisa do Street Fighter, tá ligado? Eu queria muito streamar. Não entendo muita coisa, mas é muito da hora, velho. É muito louco.
Into that bookstore. Ludwig still building
Ah,
that goes incredibly low, but he hits the
não.
shot on Ludwig. Incredible aim from him. And then
Calma, caralho.
Great work from Oracle in Argentina
Boa
to come
ult.
back into this against the Dragon Strike, against so many ultimates that were on Brazil's side.
Calma.
Now Brazil are on the back foot and are trying
Esse
to
ficou
reach that.
lindo, Rafa. Mas não precisa entender, só a gente assistindo já fica legal. Então, eu queria streamar, mas tem que ter direito, né, de streamar a Evo. Porra, eu super assistiria com vocês. Os de Valorant, quando tivesse jogo do Brasil, eu assistiria também, mas eu acho que não pode assistir. Porque o Overwatch é qualquer pessoa. Tá ligado? Qualquer pessoa pode streamar o do Overwatch. Ai, não! Os dois DPS morreu. Volta, calma, vai com calma. Volta, volta. Conhece o Punk? Não. Valorant tem que ter permissão. Eu acho que se eu for atrás da Riot eu consigo, mas sei lá, eu não quero acabar tirando a permissão de algum criador de conteúdo do Valorant, sabe? É isso, a nossa nova ilustradora, Rafa.
Yeah, for sure, Daka. Looking for that anti-grenade here as well, but a javelin to force back. Oracle goes incredibly low. There's that Suzu and Immortality Field just to deal with Ludwig's pulse bomb, like you said, Moxie. So now, Daka should know he's...
Ele vai morrer, ele vai morrer.
Because the Immortality Field, or it's because the Amplification Matrix.
Isso, isso!
With a nano boost and anti-grenade.
Empurra, empurra! Caralho, porra! É isso! Eles mataram todo mundo! Pra streamar o do Valorant, você precisa, sem falta, assistir todos os jogos? Não dá pra eu falar com a Riot, mas eu queria ver só os do Brasil mesmo. Mas não quero acabar tirando uma oportunidade de ninguém, não. Você viu que tem uma coach mulher em um time de Valorant? Não. Eu sei que tem cenário feminino de Valorant. Ó, a gente tem só a ult do Hanzo e eles têm a ult da Orisa. Boa! Vai jogando com calma. Calma, gente, eles mataram 3, mas a gente tem 2 minutos. Temos 2 minutos e 20. Tá tranquilo.
Good combination, expensive combination. Argentina, not out of the woods just yet, Dustin.
O time dela derrubou a Loud, mas ela continua sendo fofa. Não sei quem é, não.
And Brazil are going to just poke. If they get one early pickup onto this backline, Argentina are going to be so vulnerable with how big a hitbox Orisa has. We go into a stalemate now.
É, só quem tem perto de ter ult é a Kiriko, né? Mas vai dar certo.
In that Mei Hanzo battle, who can find that opening pick? Oracle looks for it, then jumps back after missing the shot. Comes back over the top, Storm Arrow and Daka as well, so a lot of those cooldowns removed. Nice Mei wall from Walter, stops the push for now.
Ai, meu Deus. Mataram o Ludwig.
Oracle hitting that shot onto him without the Storm Strike, or Storm Arrow strike as well. Daka now comes down below. Suzu used as well to keep Argentina's aggressive push going. Forces Brazil back as they wait for Ludwig to return.
Ai, gente.
Tá,
ele tá quase de ult.
Pushing him back, not breaking it, but allowing the team to be safe from that pummel cleave, as it has bought the time for both of these Kirikos to come into this Kitsune rush, but Svenko so much closer to that Dragon Strike than Oracle to be able to counter Argentina's.
Yeah, he's done a great job building.
Eu tô nervosa.
Doing more damage to the tanks rather than Oracle looking for the DPSs and pick potential.
Separa ele, separa pra gente conseguir empurrar.
Makes things scary for Argentina. Brazil will walk in with that Kitsune rush from Argentina committed, and the Blizzard doesn't connect on anybody. No, they try to go forward and walk right into the Storm Arrows from Svenko.
Ai, eu tô passando mal. Ulta e anda pra frente, anda pra frente, anda pra frente. É isso, acabou. É nosso. Acabou, manito. Acabou, manito. Esmaga.
What a win for
that rubber band. It's perfect. This is what we were talking about, right? The fact that Svenko is literally...
É isso, caralho! No Quantas Rodadas, a MD3 já foi, ganharam. Eles ganharam o primeiro mapa, ganharam o segundo mapa, agora não tem mais, né, manito? Não tem o que fazer, rapaziada.